when she was talking, there's nothing I'm just trying to remember what she said, exactly what she said, because there's nothing else I had. She said, "Welcome to the United States."
Hey guys, this is Elle and Nick. Welcome back to our channel where we're all about
living life,
loving each other,
and sharing good times with you guys. So guys, we've missed you. And if you're following what's going on, if you follow us on social media, if you're a subscriber, a watcher, you must have seen that we've been somewhere on a vacation. We were on a honeymoon, and
we skipped a week or two of the series, so we do apologize for that. We did have some things going on, but we are back and we are ready to continue with the series. So welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back, and let's keep going.
Yes, so hit the like, subscribe. We are back. So let's go into the next episode in the series.
Yeah, so we are on episode 8. And the last episode that we did was the proposal episode. So if you haven't watched that one, you can always watch it. It's available on our channel and all our other episodes for our series. So this is episode 8, and we're going to talk about the K1 visa process, which is what we decided to use. If you haven't followed our story, I have been in America for quite some time, and he joined me last year. So we used the K1 visa process, which is also known as the Fiancé visa, so that he could get a visa to come join me here in the US. So after the proposal, I came back to the US, and then we started the process. So it's called a K1 visa, and you apply through the USCIS. So you use the form I-129F. So I went there, we actually filled out the paperwork before I left Kenya so that we had all the information that we needed. And then when I got to the US, I mailed it off to, they provide the address where you send it to on the website. So I sent it off to them. So there are some requirements that you need to have before you can apply for a K1 visa. And one of them is you must have seen each other physically, be in the same physical location within the last 2 years. And so you have to provide that evidence. You have to provide evidence that you're a couple. You also have to pay some money for the form to send it out for the application. So we send that out. So before we go too far, I think we have to talk about the different options that we had to pick, and then how we settled for the K1 visa. The options that we had, if you have someone that you love and you want them to join you in the US, you can either bring them here through the spousal visa if you're married, or if you get married in the process, or you can use the Fiancé visa, which is before you get married but you're engaged. So the difference between these processes is that one of them takes longer, the other one takes shorter. But the other difference is that if you use the spousal visa, when the person lands, they have everything all ready to go. But with the K1 visa, which is the Fiancé visa, they get here, but then they still have to wait for a part of the process to be completed before they have everything all set and ready to go. By everything, I mean like their green card really, and their employment authorization and everything else.
I think part of the options also was that you'd actually come and stay in Kenya. It was a third option.
Oh, right, yes.
It basically meant that she would just fly in.
Yeah, relocate from the US to Kenya.
Yeah.
So we weighed all those options, looked at the pros and cons, looked at what we would like, and yeah, eventually we picked the Fiancé visa because one, it was a shorter process, meaning that we would get to be together sooner. And being that we had already been in a long distance relationship before, we didn't want to stay for too long without being together. And also with a K1 visa, you have to wait for some things, but it gives you the opportunity to be together and grow together as a couple as you're waiting for the other processes to happen.
So for the other processes, she means the paperwork.
Yes.
So this process basically makes you be in the same physical location quicker than the spousal option, right?
Yes. So we chose that, and then I put in my application when I got back to the US. It took a couple of months. I think it was about 4 months later they responded, and they asked for more evidence of the relationship. So as I said, you have to provide evidence that you have been in the same physical location within the last 2 years. And we had sent in pictures and things to show that we were together, but needed something to prove both of us in the same location within 2 years of our application. So we had taken a trip while we were there in Kenya. So we sent our plane ticket and our hotel room reservation, what it's called.
Yeah.
We also had to write some dates on some of the pictures that we had sent so that they could see that it was within the 2 years. And pretty much after we did that, I think it took another month, and then they approved our case. So our case was approved, and then they said, okay, we've approved your case. We're gonna send it to the US Embassy in Kenya. So they did, and
as you say, they approved the process, yes, but it wasn't as quick as maybe someone may think you just applied and it was approved.
No, it took 5 months.
Yeah. So it's actually a process. So it takes quite some time before they respond to you, and you have to be patient. So all this time I was still going around the same business I was doing before, and it was not yet my turn to do anything until the process was approved, as she said. So after that, now that's when I kick in.
Hey y'all, come look at this.
What did I do?
Yeah, what did you do?
I think I don't know. What did I do?
Oh my gosh. I remember the US Embassy sent you a mail telling you that we've received your application by so and so, and on our part we're gonna need these and these and these documents, and this is what you need to do. So they explained the process on the other side.
Well, honestly,
the thing is, by that time I had flown back into Kenya because it was around the December holidays. So we were like, yeah, we'll just spend the holidays together. So I went back. So when I went on the other side, that's when the case had been sent to the other side. So he was like, okay, she's here. So
yeah, she knows the process. So she had all the time. She had just come in. So what else remained? Anyway, I participated in all that. Only that I can't remember the nitty-gritties.
They needed a background check. They needed more evidence that the relationship was still going. They needed some other things like your identification, like your ID and things like that. So you remember we went to get your background check done. Do you remember? Yeah, so we went and did
I've
that.
remembered.
On the US Embassy website, you have to apply for a visa interview. So you go and apply using the form DS-260.
Then you have to take US Embassy passport size picture that they need. Now I'm starting to remember all these things. They are coming back. So you get that, then you get certificate of good conduct. If you've committed any crime, like within, I think the certificate usually comes out and picks a period of 6 months. So within 6 months, if you've committed any crime, that's a problem. A passport that is valid for that, for the next duration of travel period that you're going to use.
I think they say within a year. That's valid for at least a year.
Yeah, and during that time, I remember Kenya was changing the passport to the East African Community passport.
So you fill in the form DS-260, and then you have to wait to get an interview date. So normally, if you're doing like a visiting visa or anything like that, you get your date right away. But for the K1 visa, they release their dates for the next month just one time, and they say these are the dates that will be available for next month. For people that want those dates. So you have to keep checking. You have to be on the lookout, because they don't say, and on January the 15th is when we are gonna release dates. like you don't know which day they'll release them, so you just have to keep checking. So we were lucky that we had some friends that were also going through the same process, and once those dates opened, they were like,
yeah, it's crazy because the date pops up in their site. It doesn't send you a notification on your phone.
yeah,
So you have to, it's a URL that you have to keep on refreshing. So when you refresh, it says no dates available, no dates available. So the moment that you sleep, it depends when they'll just open it. They can open it between 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. If you miss that window, you are like slotted for the next month. Now you wait for
you
the
have
next
to
month.
wait for the next month's time when they open it.
Yeah, it's
for
like
you
a
to
cycle. So if this cycle passes you, you have to wait for the next cycle, which is like the next month.
Yeah.
So you have to keep on refreshing. So sometimes you are busy, you have a life that's going on. You have to go maybe do your normal duties like you work, you have emergencies, you have celebrations, occasions. So during this period, you may be in that position that you are so busy, then it pops up and you are not aware. Then someone tells you, oh, the dates actually popped up yesterday. So these friends really helped us because they actually told us when it was open.
So you got the date?
Yeah, I actually got the date. I was lucky enough to get one.
Yeah, and then once you book, you say this is the date that you want, they're like, okay, now pay us.
My friend.
Which is also another...
Like, it's crazy. You have to have money, like in your phone. For Kenyans, M-Pesa, it's a mobile transaction, mobile money transfer system that enables you to like pay to like almost every organization has it. So the moment it just pops up, you pick a date, it takes you to a payment page. So this payment page, my goodness, you have to have like, was it like 26,000 or 27?
I think it was like 27,000.
Yeah, you have to have 27,000 and it has to be an exact amount. If you miss even 1 shilling, if you don't have that money, it's gone. So you have to wait for the next slot. Maybe the time has also passed.
Oh, you mean not the money, you mean the slot?
Yeah, because for instance, if they open this slot for maybe 2 hours and you saw the slot like 5 minutes to the 2 hours, and when you're trying to pay, you find you don't have money. Now you have to look for someone else to send you money.
Oh, yeah.
So when you delay, oh my God, it's a cat and mouse job. So once you pay, that's when the date is confirmed.
Yeah, and I think the payment also took some time. They say we'll get back to you in 2 to 24 hours or something like that.
Yeah, you know why? I'm just assuming because you don't get the confirmation immediately that your payment has been received and this is your date.
Yeah.
You have to wait.
Yeah.
So that I think someone else, there's a check on the background.
Yeah, I think the reason that they said it takes that long is because kind of like they're going through a third party. You pay to M-Pesa and then M-Pesa has to pay them and then they have to confirm and then they have to confirm that they've received the money. You won't know this part, this is just happening in the background. And then once they confirm that they received the money, then they approve your slot. So that was a little bit stressful because you're like, will we get the slot? Will we miss the slot? You don't know. But anyway, luckily we did. Thank goodness. You got your slot for your interview date, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then so next thing is, okay, you have an interview date, you have to get a medical appointment before your interview date.
Let me tell you, all these things require money. So this medical appointment also given a URL that is for the one that I went to, and I saw so many other countries also using it, like Australia, Great Britain. It's called IOM for migration. So this organization is somewhere in Gigiri, just not very far from the embassy. So you go there. First of all, before that, you apply for another appointment. So this appointment thing is still on. Then as you apply and you choose a date, there's a date because you need to choose a date that's before the interview date.
Yeah.
And it has to be a date that gives them time to be able to finish the medical process and be in a position to send it in time to the embassy so that the embassy has the record before you come in. So it's a whole system that is connected but disconnected in terms of where the physical location of all these things. First of all, I had to apply, get the appointment date. As I get the appointment date, I don't know if there was a fee, but I don't think so.
No, to
you
pay?
are just, no, but when you are getting the appointment, you are just informed that you'll be required to pay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So make sure you have this specific amount. So you choose the country that you're going to, then it gives you the tariff. It's like tariff. So they give you, this is the amount that you'll be required to pay. Make sure you have this in your phone. That's it. The date came and I went to the center where you get the medical exam. So you have to get there very early, depending on your appointment. If your appointment is at 9, be there at 9.
Or earlier.
Or actually earlier, because you have to go through their own security. Then you are now put in the system, in their own system, so that you start the test. So there's a lot of tests. There's a blood test where they check like almost all the diseases that you can think of in this world. And you have an x-ray where they check your chest, and if you have any infection, then there's a full body examination. My friend, you strip and they check you, like even if you have a scar from that bee sting, they ask you what was this about. If they feel like it's something that looks weird, they'll ask you what was this. If you have marks, maybe you always get beaten maybe with some of your friends or some of the mistakes that you get into, they'll ask you. If they feel like it's something that needs further investigation, there's a police station not very far from that place. By the way, the police station is just around 100 meters from that place. So they can just call police.
Wow. Really?
If they feel like, for instance, if you have so many marks of beatings in your back, looks like you are being tortured, they have to inquire why you have these marks.
Is that why they have the police station so close?
No, I think it's just based on where the offices are
That's
located.
what I thought. I was like, I don't think they have that police station at you in case.
But it's so convenient. All these things are so conveniently located. So once you get through the first process, the second process, before you go into to have your x-ray done, there's an amount you pay. I don't know if it's before. There's a process where you reach, then you have now to pay.
You
then
don't pay everything all at once?
When you put into that queue, you don't just get in and start paying. You get a form, then you're moved to another room where they start doing the blood test, the urine test. Then you move into, I think, the x-ray. Then before the x-ray, before you go to the examination, you now go and pay. So the payment is in dollars. So it depends with the exchange rate at that time. Then it was around $260. So it was around 27,000, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, another one that's separate from
this is separate from the other interview.
For the interview fee.
That you're going to do in the US Embassy. So you pay that money like in full. There's no installments. Don't do checks. There are no checks required. So you pay that money up front. They have to do the confirmation there. Then they print another form that they have to attach to this one that you have. You go with it. Now you do the body examination where they check your eyes, they check your ears, if you can hear. They check
your reflex.
Which reflex?
You know, like the one that they knock your knee with something and then see if your leg jacks up.
My friend, just slap someone. You will know if they have reflexes or not.
No, they didn't do that one to you?
No, I can't remember if they did
They
that.
probably did. I remember that one very well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that they do in the body examination where they touch your toes and something like that. Yeah. Once you do that, they actually send that information directly to the embassy, so you'll not come back for anything apart from maybe there's a CD that they usually give you with the x-ray that you get that will be used when you are in your port of entry in the US. So whichever port of entry, it will be New York, California, Atlanta, wherever. So that's where they'll now use the rest of it. And there's a certificate that you're given that you are immunized. So that too is very important.
So after that, then that part is done and you just wait for your interview date.
Yes.
Right? So the interview date came. What happened?
Oh, it's part of this story.
The interview date. The interview. Yeah.
Oh.
Like, what do you mean?
I thought I had finished because you are saying the K1 visa process. So that's the process.
The interview is the main part. Like this whole thing we did to get an interview for the visa.
My friends, so that day comes and remember you had sent that the information from the medical side had to be transferred to the other side. They inform you that your information was sent, so everything was okay. So if there was a problem with your medical checkup, you will be called beforehand so that you don't need to go to the interview.
Oh, okay.
So they call you, they say maybe they found these diseases in you and therefore you need to be treated. For instance, if they find you with TB, which they actually clearly tell you, they tell you that you will need 6 months of treatment, then you come back, then they again check you. If you are not good yet, you go back for further treatment. If you are good, now you move to the interview stage.
Oh, okay.
So all these things have to be like in line. So the interview date came and you have an appointment again. Remember the appointment that you took earlier, the one that that has a cycle, that day comes and your time is very important. If your time is 9 a.m., be there at 8:55.
So that's what you did? You went there early?
Yeah, I went early. I came, got in, get checked. Then your time comes, and when you get into the place where now the interview, you go and you are given a ticket. You wait. Then now there are numbers, the same way banking halls usually call you.
Yeah.
C1, C19, C20, C21. So it's like a queue. Then you get in, my friend. There's usually a very small queue, like 4 or 5 people. As you stand in that queue, all you look at is the people that are going to interview you. So you look at them, you see who's friendly. Some of them are so stern. They look at, you see whoever the interviewing is just shaking. You're like, oh, I don't want that guy. Or I don't want that lady. Then this other lady that I was praying so that I get a chance like to be interviewed by her, I got the chance. My passport and everything had already been taken in through another window. Then she starts asking you small questions like, what's your name? My friend, don't forget your name, please.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm Nelson, and you're not Nelson, you're Nick. My friend, that's a problem.
Yeah. So all the information, everything from the application that we sent in when I was, from the US, to all the evidence, everything, all your information from the medical has all reached them by that time. So you have a file like this. It's
huge. So they've already gone through everything.
Yeah.
They have your information in their screen. So they are looking at the screen and they are looking at what your documents say, and they are asking you questions based on all these things that are here.
Oh yeah, they pick your background check, or what do you call it, certificate of good conduct,
the
and
certificate
everything before you reach there.
Yes.
So they have all of your stuff.
So all these things have to check. If they miss even one document, they'll just ask you, do you have this document? Because we don't have it. So if you don't have it, that's a problem. So you just come over prepared than
it's better
under prepared.
Yeah.
So they ask you questions like, what's the name of your fiancé? What's the name of the person you're going to visit? What's the state that you're going to? Is there any of your family members that lives in the US? Is there? Some of them are trick questions, asking me, what's your birthday? My friend, if you don't know your spouse's birthday, that's a problem. They can ask you for charts, if you've had any chats. Yeah,
they still want some kind of evidence that the relationship is still active, because remember when we started the application, that was around 8 months before then, because the whole process took about 8 months. So 8 months, between 8 months and now, anything could have happened. So they still want to know that the relationship is still active, that you both are still together, you still want to, you still both want the same thing. So they ask for, recent communication.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that went on, and I answered all the questions that they needed.
And she asked you about our story.
Yes, she asked about, like, maybe to tell her how we met, the whole story that are in this series, all of those stories from episode 1. Like the whole of this story, part of it, I had to narrate that story to her.
You told her a quick summary? Of course.
Yes.
You didn't go...
No, I'm assuming, I thought you wanted me to start saying like how we met and everything.
No. I mean, like, you gave her a quick summary, a quick rundown of our story.
Yes, that's what I did. So I just did it very quickly. Okay, it wasn't quick. I had all the time. It was my chance to talk. So it was for her to tell me, oh, okay. Then she was like, oh, that's a very nice story. It's very touching. So I see like I have everything I need. That's what she said. And those are papers she's flipping. She's like, and she said, welcome to the United States. Your what? Your visa has been, I don't know.
Yeah, your visa has been approved.
Yeah, something like that. Let me tell you, when she was talking, there's nothing I'm just trying to remember what she said, exactly what she said, because there's nothing else I had. She's like, no. Then she looked like she was smiling. Then she gave me some booklet that tells you like a small history of the US and what you're supposed to do if you go into the US and everything. A small booklet. Then she said, that's it. So the rest of it will mail to you. The address is, so she confirms with you where you want the visa to be
sent.
So you say this place, this and this, then that's it. They just tell you, okay, you can just go home, we'll send it. So you'll get a notification on your phone that it has been sent and received and it's there. Then you go and pick it and go to the US. Hey guys, remember, if you've been watching this series, you'll realize there's a time that I went for the same, okay, it was a visiting visa, and I went through a similar process and I was denied. So I was twice shy. I was like, maybe they'll deny it based on that. And you have to be so truthful. So these questions, part of the questions they ask is, if you've ever applied for a visa before. My friend, don't lie. They know everything. There are systems. If you lie, that's it. There's something called integrity. It starts from that point you start applying. So you have to be very sure of everything that you're doing and you have to be honest. Just write exactly what you're supposed to write. Don't lie.
Yeah. So how did you feel when you got your visa approved? Like that's the part we were waiting for.
I was in disbelief. I was just in this bubble.
So for me, I was on the other side and I'm waiting. If you remember, he just said you can't have your phone in there, you can't have anything. So I know he went in and I'm just there waiting and waiting some more. And I was just wondering, like, when is he gonna call me to tell me, like, you know, how everything went? Because you can be sure that you've done everything as you're supposed to, but really it's the decision of the person that's looking at all the papers, and they could be in a bad mood, or they could just be mean people, or they could just find something that maybe you missed or something. And I was like, I think he's gonna get it, but you know, you just need to hear it that he actually got it. So I waited for a long time, and it was nighttime over there, over here. Yeah, so I was just waiting. I couldn't go to sleep, and eventually the phone call came, and I was like, oh my gosh. Because I remember when you first called me, the network was so bad and you had such a sad face, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I couldn't hear what you were saying, you remember? So I was like, just hang up and call me again. So you hang up and you called me again, and you still had the sad face.
You know, you have to like test the waters.
Oh my God.
You make sure that you first take her to this level, a lower level, then
that was Yani.
Anyway, so I eventually told her that I had gotten it. And what did you do?
I was so happy.
Actually, she hugged me from the phone. I just felt those arms like coming around like this. When you hold your phone like this, you just feel things hugging you from behind. Yeah, anyway, it was really good. And
yeah, it was an amazing moment. Like,
yeah, I think
like,
it was maybe
God.
1 a.m. here. So
yeah, and it had been my birthday on that day.
Yeah, actually that's the most important thing. It was her birthday. So when that interviewer asked me, when's her birthday, I told her today. How easy is that?
Yeah.
It's today.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best birthday gift ever. Like, thank you, Jesus. And I was like, okay, then I really think this is meant to be, you know? Because what better birthday gift can anyone get you?
Yeah, so that's the process that we went through.
And we were like, yes, now we have the visa. Now we just need to make some arrangements. And before you know it, you're going to be here. Da, da, da. Little did we know. Oh
Little
my God.
did we know. Please. Remember, this is Feb going into March.
Yes.
And
so
what happened?
Feb 2020.
What was happening in March 2020? If you were alive, of course you are alive. If you understand this, March 2020. What was coming for the world?
So I think we should mention that when you get your visa, it's valid for 6 months to travel. Okay. Actually, what determines when you should travel by is your medical exam, because your medical exam is valid for 6 months before you travel. If you go into the US and it's been longer than 6 months, then they won't accept the medical exam results. Then you either have to do them again or you just have to go back to your home country. So just keep that in mind as we keep on telling this story.
I think this story, the stories that are coming up, they are getting again dramatic, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
A little bit.
yeah.
I just feel like going on with this story, but sadly, this is the episode that we said we will deliver, and we have delivered it to that point.
Yeah.
The next episode.
So stay tuned for the next one.
Episode. I will write it down here.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Keep watching, keep subscribing, and thank you for the support so far.
Yes,
Yeah.
we appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you for coming back to watch us, and keep sharing, keep liking, keep subscribing, and as always, we'll continue giving you content and continue interacting with you guys.
Oh, and please watch our honeymoon special. We went to Maui, and one
one of the weeks we skipped because we lost a relative and we were taking some time off, and then the other one we had traveled, so we were not able to shoot, but now we're back and we're continuing on this journey.
Yes.
Yeah,
So as we always say,
see you in the next one,
and in the meantime,
share some love, life and laughter with someone. Peace.
Ninaka nimeshain.
Alilo.
These are problem. Wacha niende. Nataka necklace. Zile zina hang you. Kama zile za Masai za Wasamburu.
Next time. Next time.